Trust me, you were made to shine. From dusk came light. Amini, 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 amini. Oh, amini, 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 amini.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. Just in my intro, the birds have decided to fly. We good. Let me get a little comfortable because we need to talk. Okay, so you know how people are usually like, I've been in this industry for 20 years. I've been in this game for 20 years. Honey, I've been in this life. I've been in this game. It's a game. I've been in this game for 20 years, 22 years. So one of the things I decided to do was to just share 22 lessons that I've learned in those 22 years. So I'm kind of giving each and every year, each and every lesson. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first and the most, I think the basis of everything that is the lessons I've learned. The first thing is that you have to have God at the center of everything. Like, there's absolutely no way you can have success and you can do things without God being at the center, because God is the one who created you. He's the one who's given you the Bible says God has given us the strength to make wealth. So every wealth you have is because you have the strength to make it, and who gives you that strength? It's God. I don't know whether you guys have watched any of the award shows, like the BET Awards, the VMA Awards, the AMA Awards, and they are, let's say, awarding, maybe you've been called for the best hip-hop artist in the game for that specific year, and those artists will be singing such vulgar songs and such, I can't even say those words here, but like they'll be singing such vulgar songs, and then they'll be coming on stage and be like, I really want to thank God, I really want to thank my mother, my family for being there with me. And I'm like, the first thing they're going to say is, I really want to thank God. The sun is on my face. So anyway, like I was saying, if you guys have watched like any award shows, their songs have everything but the word God in it, and they be coming on stage and they be really extra with this thing, like, oh my God, I really want to thank God for this, like I wouldn't have come here if it weren't for God. And I'm like, wow, I think we all have to decide, and not to decide, to agree. We all have to agree that like there's nowhere you could go without God, because if those people are recognizing God, then who am I? That was point number one, that you must have God at the center of everything. So my second lesson is that money is not wealth. I read somewhere that they're so poor, some people are so poor, all they have is money. If the only thing you have in life is money, then there's so many other things that you're lacking. You're lacking integrity, you're lacking things to do with the soul, and all you have is money. You're very poor. That was my second, and it still is my second lesson. The third thing is protect your energy. I like to say it on a light-ish note, but protect your energy. I also like to say protect your spirit. We feed the spirit is a very important commodity. It's what you feed your spirit is what makes you as a human being. So if you feed your spirit with the wrong things, if you feed your spirit with the wrong company, if you feed your spirit with the wrong agendas in life, with the wrong motives in life, you end up weighing your spirit down. And let me tell you, if you have a low spirit in life and you're not your spirit is not raised, so you're always low, you're always down, you're always feeling a certain way, you need to find oh my God. So protect your spirit. It's the most important part of you as a human being. The fourth thing, number 4, the fourth thing, confidence and self-esteem is a choice. Let me tell you, once you tell yourself like, oh my God, you look so good today, like, oh my God, you're doing so good in life, like, oh oh my god, get that attitude and inject it into yourself by force and say, me, I look good, me, I'm a nice person, i'm going to I'm going to carry myself with a certain image, I'm going to behave a certain way, I'm going to, like, you look, tell yourself on a daily basis, if you're preparing to go somewhere and you might be feeling a bit weak, you look at yourself and you're like, no, you really look good, like, sure, kwani ni wewe, you know, just like, you really look good, you look so bomb, you look bomb, you really look bomb. And once you start telling yourself those kind of things, can you guys hear the ambulance? So once you start telling yourself those positive things, that's a choice, that's a choice you have to make, and no one is going to, really, people can come and tell you that you look so good every day, that you're bomb every day, but if you're not having it inside yourself, then it's not possible. It has to start with you, it really has to start with you. And that's the fourth thing I have learned. The fifth thing is that we really have to respect our parents, like, respect, you know, when that, is it a verse in the Bible, yeah, that says respect your father and mother? Yeah, it's a verse in the Bible, it says respect your father and mother, and you shall live long in the land. Respect is such a, it's such an important thing. One of the things I think I realized not too long ago is that our parents are just big children, like they're big children, and I'll also be a big child one day, meaning you're someone still working on yourself, you're still learning, you're still growing, you're still accepting, you're still denying, you're still being told no in life, you're still being told yes in life. So our parents sometimes come off as these people who really don't want or love us. Sometimes you're like, me, you really don't love me. But once you realize that maybe at the moment, or in that moment of conflict, you guys were not agreeing because that person, or your, not that person, but your parent may also have been going through something and you have no idea about, and probably you'll never get to know, but you have to learn to respect. And it's such a beautiful thing to know that I respect and I give credit where credit is due, and that's to our parents. Point blank, you have no choice, it's a commandment, you have to follow it. But it's also a very beautiful thing to do, knowing that they're just having their own battles as well, and they're having their own struggles as well. So you're not any better, they're not any better, we're all on the same level of life. The sixth thing I learned, number six on this list, is that we have to forgive so many times as human beings. I usually tell a friend of mine, binadamu ni binadamu too. Like, a human being is a human being is a human being. They will wrong you. Human beings will step on your toes. Wait. Human beings will push you to other limits that you really never even thought you would be in. And you're just like, this human being is really putting me through things, and you just cannot. And so as human beings, and the more you grow, the more you need to forgive, but you cannot forget the lesson. So you forgive, but you don't forget the lesson. So whatever lesson you learned in that difficult state with a human being, whatever thing they put you through, and you're just like, what is this? You cannot understand, but you really have to forgive, but you cannot forget the lesson. The seventh thing that I have learned is that as human beings, we have to love each other with the love of Christ. The human love that we have cannot really suffice you in this world. It cannot hold you. If you want to be sane, and you really are not planning to get ulcers because of stress, you have to love with the love of Christ. That's something, to me, that's honestly one of a really serious lesson that I had to. There was no option. I really had to, because sometimes I used to just wonder, like, why are you behaving that way, or why are you doing this, or why are you acting like this, or why are you responding to things like this? And then I realized, other than just being like, "Ugh, I can't stand this person," like, it's just like, ugh. What I did is I just love someone regardless. Like, I just really just love you. I don't have to have any ties, or I don't have to have any necessary like bond, such a close bond with you. You don't have to be in my inner circle, but I just love you with the love of Christ, and that's it. Number eight, the eighth thing that I would like to share with you guys is that difficult times are very important. I don't know how to make that sound nice. I don't think it will sound any nicer. And the reason is that they mold you. Those difficult situations that you're like, me, I can't, I'm dying. When you come out of them, you can't touch yourself and be like, wow, eh, I'm now tough. I'm really tough. Like, it's just something inside, and you have to trust the process and know, like, wow, that thing molded me. That hard, that hard time, it really molded me. It really got me to a different perspective, to a different person, to a different state of mind, to a different everything. So hard times are very, very important. Number 9 that I want to share with you guys is that saying no is an answer. And say it's generally just saying no to anything that you feel like it deserves two answers, a yes or a no. You have the absolute right to say no, and not owe anyone an explanation about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can tell someone, I will not do this, and I really don't owe you an explanation. I really don't want to. Will you come with us? Do you want to do this? Do you want to smoke this? Do you want to drink this? Do you want to visit this person? Do you want to talk like this? And you're going to say no, and you're going to be like, I don't owe you an answer to my no. It's just a no from me. Like, you wanted an answer, my answer is no, and that should be fine. That should be fine with you. So be so strong with your decision to say no, and be confident about your no. Okay, number 10 is that your behavior, your character, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, all that is beautiful. Sometimes, especially as women, I'm going to speak for myself as a woman. I don't know about the other species, our other lovely species, but sometimes, because you're assertive and you know what you want, and you know how you want it, and you know the limits that you have and the limits that you're not willing to cross, people will judge that as being aggressive, or as being I don't know, they won't take it the right way. But you're such a limited edition. You're so unique. There's nothing on this earth that exists like you. There's absolutely no one. There's absolutely nothing. You're limited edition. So the way you are, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you behave, the way you carry yourself, the way you communicate, that all that is beautiful on its own. You don't need to add nothing. You don't need to take away nothing. You're okay, and you're beautiful. You're such a limited edition. That's what this is. Number 11, I think is kind of tied with, I can't remember what number that was. Number 11, let me check. Number 11 is tied with, I think, number 6, when I said that human beings are human beings. And I think I just want to kind of repeat myself and say that a human being is a human being is a human being. And this could be your mom, this could be your dad, this could be your sibling, this could be someone on the streets, this could be the person who put petrol in your car, this will be the person who cooks for you, this could be the person who washes your clothes, this could be your boss, this could be your employee. A human being is a human being is a human being. So once personally I realized that, I got another perspective of A human being will always do what a human being does. They'll disappoint you, they'll lie to you, they'll they'll not always meet your expectation. But once you realize that that's just a human being and so am I'm also a human being, it becomes easier for you to just be like, okay, it's fine, ni binadamu too, and we're all human beings. Okay, so number 12 that I have, and this was one of the biggest ones yet. Ooh, this one was major. Don't let people get used to your presence. I think that's the best way I can put it. I don't know, maybe you can put it in your own way, in your Kiswahili, in your Masai, in your Kikuyu, in your Luo, in your Luya, in your Turkana, in your Borana, whatever way. But don't let people get used to your presence. You get what I'm saying? So don't let them be too comfortable with you. Like, you mess with me, I'm gonna be quiet about it. You talk ish about me, I'm still gonna be quiet about it. You step on my toe and you decide, for example, you won't keep your word, I'm not going to approach you about it and I'm going to be quiet about it. So people get used to knowing that, okay, when you do this, she'll always be chill. When you do this, she'll always be chill. When you do this, nah, be like, you won't step on me. You can't step on me once and then twice. The third one I must be foolish. You cannot. And when you give people that ultimatum, people begin, the first reaction that I've seen mostly is that people begin to be like, nah, why are you behaving like that? But I'm like, I'm behaving the exact same way you're behaving. Just to make it clear, if I'm quiet, it's because you're also quiet. You've also been quiet. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to be I'm behaving the same way you're behaving, but when I do it, it's wrong. When you do it, it's okay. Nah, we don't do that here, and that's the boundary that I have really, really, really struggled to set, because of, I think, just the way I'm made, the way the Heavenly Father decided to put me together, is that I have so much grace, a lot of grace, but I've learned to not give it too freely, and to only, I give, you give, I give, you give, so it's an exchange. Number 13, oh my god, we're moving so fast. Number 13 is don't take people for granted. One of the things I love about the people that I keep in my inner circle, and they know themselves, I tell them all the time, something about me, but if I love you, you gon' know. You gon' know that I love you and I care about you and I'm here for you and I'm gonna ride for you. We don't really have to die, but I'm just going to ride for you. Like, it's, for me, we're riding. We're not dying, we're just riding. And if I love you, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. So one of the things that I had to kind of remind myself is not to take people for granted. I have people in my inner circle that are just so pure at heart. I usually say with a friend of mine, shout out to you, Kenya. I usually say there's some people who are so pure, like hata ukimuuliza unafaa kujiuliza maswali, like you're supposed to wonder, why am I doing something bad to this person? This person would not hurt a fly. This person would not hurt a fly. They're so nice. This person is so pure at heart. They're just so pure. So I learned, and I'm still learning, not to take these people for granted. To really don't get comfortable as well with them, because when you have someone nice like that, you end up getting comfortable in that space and not giving as they give. So for me, it's also a lesson kind of tied to the other one, not to take people for granted as well. So number 14 is, we really have to be alert as people, as growing young folks. When it's time to leave, it's time to leave. When it's time to leave that WhatsApp group that is talking about things that you don't agree with, when it's time to leave that friendship that you're really holding on to because you guys have been friends since you were in primary, in baby class, in kindergarten, you'll have family friends. If it's time to leave that friendship, it's time. It's time to leave that group that they like to call themselves like a gang, squad, I don't know, whatever, whatever floats your boat. So if it's time to leave that group, walk, run, flee. If it's time not to be part of that 5 group of friends, 10 group of friends, that relationship, if it's time to walk, keep it pushing. Like, negotiate. Let's not look back. Negotiate. Let's go. Tukiendanga, like, keep it pushing. Let me tell you, there's so many pure people in this world, such that the people who are unpure should not hold you back. So if it's time to push it, if it's time to go, honey, negotiate. Guy, tukiendanga. Number 15 is that comfort is such an enemy. Comfort when it comes to your work, whether you've been employed, don't get comfortable with where you've been employed, especially not where you've been employed. Don't get comfortable even in things like friendships and relationships. People be like, oh no, we've been dating for about 3, 5 years, 10 years, and now you're comfortable. Or no, we've been married for a couple of years. Or what, like, or even friendships, like, I've been friends with this person for so long, I don't need to check on them, they're fine. Comfort is an enemy. Comfort is a straight up enemy. We're not using, don't get comfortable in anything. Make sure you're always on your toes with what matters. Let me put it that way, with what matters, what you define as, I treasure this, I love this, I find comfort in this. This thing is important to me. You should not get comfortable with that. Number 16, sweet 16. Your age does not define you, my G. You could be 16 and in an environment where people are in their 20s, in their late 20s, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm so young over here. And I remember, what? This is a story time I need to give you guys, but just to give a light note, my first job, I worked with people who were way older than me. They were way older than me. But my best friend always told me, you're way more mature than these people who are in their 30s. You're way more mature. Some of these people are acting like kids. You're way more mature. And that used to shock me, because I'm like, these people are in their 30s, in their late 20s and stuff like that. But your age should not really come as a definition of what level in life you should be at, or what. Don't think that I should be 18 in high school, 20 in university. I can't be 20 and own my own house. Or I can't be 20 and be married. Nah. Or I can't be 30 and not be married. Or I can't be 30 and not driving my own car. I'm not owning my own house. If you put those limits on yourself, my G, you're going to be on a whole other different level of life, of pressure, and it's not healthy. So your age, whether young or old, should not dictate anything. It should dictate nothing. Okay, so number 17 is that your mindset is rich. It's your wealth. It's your treasure. Let me put it that way. Your mindset is your treasure. Many times the way you think gives a whole different perspective of life. For example, if you decide to take a certain situation in life and you decide, I'm going to be here, I'm dying, this I've lost, or for example, if you've lost something or lost someone and you're like, I'm just here, I can't move on, I can do nothing about it. It's true, you can do nothing about it, but and then what? So if you change your mindset and be like, okay, this is where I am in life, this is what life has put on my plate, so then what? We need to move on, we need to move forward, we need to change this, we need to change that, we need to talk like this, we need to start planning for this, we need to start organizing this, we need to, you start, like, your mindset is everything. Number 18 is that silence is so powerful. Silence is so yani silence is powerful. Sometimes you just keep quiet, and it could be silence in anything. Silence in a meeting, you really feel like you really need to talk or to give your opinion or to say what you're thinking. It's good to say what you're thinking because you have the right of speech, but silence sometimes is so powerful. It could be in that meeting, it could be in that friendship. You're like, nah, I'm gonna be silent and see what you gonna do about it. It might be even with our parents. Sometimes you really want to talk and you really want to, like, listen, I'm thinking this is what's going on. I don't want you doing this to me. But if you're just silent sometimes, it's powerful. It's really, silence is powerful. I'm just going to say it like that. Silence is so, so powerful. The next thing I think is to face, that is number 19, is to confront or like to face what hurt you or who hurt you or the situation that is hurting you. Many times as human beings, it's so hard, and you're like, nah, I'm not going to think about it, I'm just going to watch this movie. And then you sleep and you wake up and you're feeling the same thing, and you're like, nah, I'm just going to go have fun with my friends. And you go and you come back to the house, and when you're showering, it hits you. So once you approach it and you're like, I'm going to take this 2-3 days to deal with this situation, to deal with it in such a way to realize where I am. Where I am is that it's hard, it's difficult. I feel like crying, so I'm going to cry. I feel like I need to vent. I'm going to call one of my best friends and just let them listen to me. I feel like I need to pray. I'm going to go on my knees and just tell God everything. Just let it go to God. Like, God won't even write it down and be like, okay, I'm listening. No, God will just listen and be there for you. So you have to confront that thing. Also, when it comes to people, when someone has really hurt you and you keeping quiet about it, why? Let me tell you, it's a wound. It is a really, really serious wound. And I had to learn the serious hard way that you speak up, talk, and say, yo, listen. And let me tell you, if someone is not going to listen to you and see your perspective in life, then that's not really a true friend. Because a true friend will be like, oh my god, okay, let me listen to what you want to say, let me listen to where you're coming from. I'm going to listen to where you're coming from. I'm going to tell you from where I'm coming from, and then we come to an understanding. And that's what adulting is. That's what maturity is. We really have to. You have to confront and then come to an understanding. Number 20 is humility. Humility in terms of acknowledging that you can also be wrong and you can also do the wrong thing. There's absolutely no way that you're always the perfect person. So even me myself, I'm not perfect, and sometimes I have to recognize and be like, okay, this I really did wrong, or I really spoke the wrong way, or I really did not do what they expected of me, and that was wrong, and that hurt them. So I really need to calm down and apologize and say, yo, listen, that was not what was meant to be. I'm sorry, and I apologize. This is where I am, and I apologize. And coming out as being apologetic, or coming out and saying that you're sorry, is not weakness. It really isn't. It's not. So number 20, we're almost done. Number 21. Yeah, number 20. I'm turning 22, not 21. So number 21 is you have to learn from your very own experiences. Sometimes sometimes you're like, okay, what is all this? And you're like, no one ever told me about it. Like, no one ever came and corrected me. Like, no one ever. Sometimes no one will ever. You get what I'm saying? Like, no one will ever come and really lay it out to you, ABCD. My experience will never be your experience, and your experience will never be your cousins, your brothers, your sisters' experience. All our experiences are so different, and we really have to learn from those. Very last one that I want to say is never understand. So the very last one that I want to say is never underestimate yourself. You're so strong, You're so amazing. Like, there'll never be anyone like me. So the way you're handling a situation, you feel like, I don't know whether I'm handling it the right way now, boo. You're okay. You're doing it the right way. You should be confident in yourself. You're going to be safe. You're going to be okay.
Last night I looked at the moon.